Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 16th to the 30th, 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Taurus, September 16th to the 30th, money and career. Taurus, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Okay, these two right there. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading, and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. Let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Hanged Man, so we see things differently than everybody else. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. This starts to change our fortune, starts to change the way we call in wealth, prosperity, success, and bounty. We have the Witch of Air, which is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If we're born on the cusp with Gemini, or we have air sign energy within our chart, this is coming through very, very powerfully in our inner selves. We have this way with words. We also have this way with coming together with the feeling and expression of what we want and our breath and what we desire and how we are moving forward towards our goals. There's going to be a power in our words during this time. It leads us to strength, which is in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, equivalent to the Death card, a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. This brings us to a place of strength within ourselves. We see this change, we see this power, we see this insight within us, and it's really starting to open up doors. Then we have our emotional self, which we have the Sun. A joy, happiness, success, light is shining through. And then we have the Star, which is Aquarius energy. If we have Aquarius within our inner self, within our natal chart, that's going to come through very powerfully within our emotional self. Just like if we have Scorpio energy within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully within our inner self. It moves us to our public arena. And then we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Hierophant. So we're in our element in the public arena. We're going to be moving forward in ways that maybe we're not as comfortable with. We have the little sugar glider here, or, you know, squirrel, whatever it is, jumping through the swords. It's not without its danger, but it's still in its element. It's in this element of soaring and overcoming and becoming. And that's going to be us during this time. It's like we are going to be in our element, where other people will look at it and be like, ooh, that isn't what I want to do. Like, that isn't how I want to move forward. It's going to be right for us. It doesn't mean that we put ourselves in dangerous situations. It means that we really start to align with what we want and who we are and where we're headed. And we start to see different ways of conquering goals and achievement than we had before, because the Hierophant, well, that's us in the major arcana. We're represented by the Hierophant in the major arcana. We're represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana. This moves us to the energy we need to be mindful of. What is the energy that Taurus needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It's the Prince of Pentacles. Now, it's very interesting. If you're born on the cusp with Aries, this came up as the energy that Aries also has to be mindful of. So do be doubly mindful of it then, if you have Aries very strongly within your chart or you're born on the cusp with it. Now, the Prince of Pentacles represents us in the minor arcana. We're represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana, again, the Hierophant in the major arcana. We can get in our own way as we're moving forward. We can also want to make sure that things are so steadily laid out, like so well thought out, that it stops us from actually moving. So do be mindful of that. There's also going to be a way that money speaks to us, speaks for us. We don't want it to overpower our thoughts, our insights, our ideas, our connection with ourselves and what we desire and the way that we want to move forward. Yeah, that's going to be very important. We also want to be very mindful of the way that we connect with others that seem to have a very financially oriented, money oriented way of speaking, because we can be easily pulled in to everything being boiled down to the dollar, everything being boiled down to this is the way it has to be, this is the way it needs to be. And this is like the only way you can move forward in success and prosperity. We want to be mindful. We want to, embrace, sound financial, recommendations, advice, knowledge coming forward. But we don't want to make the dollar or whatever, form of money that we have our main guide during this time. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, peace. This is the crown chakra. We want to be crowned with peace at this time. This is a very powerful time for us. We have a major arcana card in every single section. We have 2 here. We have a court card and a major arcana card here. So we only really have 1 card that isn't a major arcana. This is a heavy hitting time. At the bottom, you might say, okay, Dane, there's 2 here. Yes, but there's always 2 because this is just a major arcana deck. When we have peace coming forward, in the midst of all this power and all this change and all this insight and all these ideas, we need to center ourselves in peace. It's going to be very easy for us to fall into chaos. It's going to be very easy for us to become focused on kind of like the hunt, the acquisition, the battle, the everything that is needed, and not the peace within. If we forget that, we're going to forget a really big part of ourselves, and we can see burnout happen really easily. So do be mindful to center yourself in peace, to embrace what you love, to make sure that you check in with you. Meditation, very powerful during this time. It doesn't mean that you have to sit quietly and meditate. It can be that you go out for a walk. It can be that, you do, there's a form of meditation that's repetitive action. So it can be that you meditate while washing the dishes or dusting or, something that needs to get done, or vacuuming or whatever household chore or outside in the garden that needs to get done, or filing papers at work. Whatever you do to center yourself, and make sure that you center yourself during this time. Become very aware of the way your feet hit the earth. Go outside barefoot if you can, or in barefoot shoes. Connect with the earth, connect with the energy of creation, and that's going to help bring us peace, bring us centering during this time. The Hangman, we don't see things the same way as everybody else. We think that this is a bad thing. It's not necessarily. It's not. There's a power in not being afraid to stand out. There's a power in being different. There's a power in looking at things differently. Remember, the innovators didn't become innovators, didn't become successful because they all thought the same way. No, they stood out from the crowd and they let themselves be powerfully different. This is a time to say, I'm powerfully different, instead of saying, oh my gosh, I'm not fitting in like everybody else. I obviously have done something wrong. No, you haven't. Let yourself embrace the nuances, the beauty of standing out. It moves us to the Wheel of Fortune by seeing everything differently. It brings us to this new place that we stand within our souls, within ourselves. It brings us to a new season that we come in, because we have here the seasons depicted. We might not want a change of seasons. We might not want the road that is opening up to us, but the journey is important. And the journey isn't always on terrain that we thought, okay, this is what I want to walk on. Like, this is what I want to have to endure. But what Spirit is showing here is that, yes, this could feel like a roller coaster ride. It can feel that we go from one season to another, to, different ways of looking at things, questioning ourselves, feeling overwhelmed. This is a time where we're going to see ourselves needing to step back, needing to step into control of our breath, our soul, ourself, our idea. Step into our bodies and say, the world is changing around me. I am changing what I want because I'm not seeing things the same way as before. How does this move me forward? And it moves us forward by focusing on the breath, the Witch of Air. This kind of beautiful, creative, chaotic understanding, natural understanding, and that nature is always chaotic. Natural understanding of our breath, our own magic of our voice, of what we say we want, of what we're going after, of what we're giving our time to, of what we desire. And this starts to be a transformation for us. This starts to be a time where we call into power something beautiful, something out of the ordinary, something towards the extraordinary. Our words are going to be very important to us. This can be a time where making lists, like writing things out, journaling, writing things down, writing a book, writing songs, painting, creating something that has to do with the expression of the words that are within is very important. This is also going to be a time where we find ourselves being able to talk well, being able to put things together, being able to, find the connections. It moves us then to strength, which is, again, the Death card in the Major Arcana, in the Tarot, in the Rider-Waite-Smith. There we go, Major Arcana. And so here we have the Guardian. We have the strength. We have this sense of power and ferocity and understanding coming forward because we have the animals guarding us. We have the animals standing with us. We have the strength of ourselves because we've transformed. So many people do not have the strength of animals around them, do not have the strength of compassion around them. And that's because they haven't transformed. And the self that is solely focused on the ego hasn't transformed to the self that says, I know at days, there are going to be days, where my ego takes over. There are going to be times where I feel overwhelmed, where I feel out of balance with myself. But those are going to be the moments where I get to pull myself back into alignment with me. Or to just say, you know what? I'm having a really bad day. I need to step out. I need to step back and take time for my heart, my soul, myself, my expression, my love. There's going to be strength in our understanding. There's going to be strength in the way that we see our connection with every living thing on this earth. Not just the ones that align with us, agree with us. There's beautiful strength within our hearts, within our souls. Moving forward with that strength is going to be everything, and it's going to transform us. This is going to be a time, Taurus, where we have to trust our gut instincts. We have to listen to ourselves. What is it that we really want? Not what is it that looks good to everybody else? What is it that will get us the respect or the prestige that we want, or that we think we want? But it's like, what is it that my soul is craving? What is it that I need to move forward with? Because it leads us to the sun. There's a shining, beautiful light within our hearts that needs to come out. And people at work, they're going to get jealous. People are going to get jealous when we start to step into our power, our creation, our ideas, our intentions. We start to move forward mindfully and powerfully and without apology for what we want from life, from who we are, what we desire, and where it is that we're headed. Let the sun shine. Let the beauty, let the ideas, let the power of our words shine forward. Let the light come through the darkness. And don't apologize for it. And don't dim your light because it's upsetting other people and others are getting jealous. It moves us to the star. So we have the sun, the closest star in our solar system that we have. And then we have the star. And the star is saying that there are wishes and there are dreams. This is getting what we need, not what we want. This is also finding balance within ourselves, gaining an understanding, embracing our emotions. What does our heart crave? And where do we need to stand within that love, within that understanding? What is it that our soul desires? And what is it that we're opening up to? The star calls forward our wishes. Our heart needs to listen to our dreams. And there's a part of us that has given up on our dreams, has thought, oh, this is so silly. It can't possibly. But our heart here needs to listen to our dreams, needs to listen to what we really desire, to the way that we truly want to move forward, what we absolutely want and love within our lives. And it brings us to the Six of Swords. It brings us to this place in the public arena where we take what we have learned and we take what we know and we traverse the terrain differently. We sit there and say, you know what? Doing the same thing over and over again isn't working for me. Or falling back on these habits, this reactionary thinking, or, this way of saying, well, it happened like this, so it's going to happen like this again. No, we're going to see ourselves jumping through what once snared us, what once stopped us. And it brings us into saying, this is me. I hold the keys. I hold the passion. I hold the power. I hold the abundance. I hold what I desire. And there is power to me that even I don't realize, that even I haven't tapped into yet. This is a time where we open up to that passionate power. This is a time where we say there's more here than meets the eye. This is a time where we realize that we are not wrong, that we were not mistaken, that this is not a mistake, that this is a powerful determination that guides us, leads us, and is a part of us. So when it comes to money and career, listen to yourself. Listen to what you desire. Look at things from all different angles. Don't take somebody else's word for it. Look it up yourself. Look at things in a different way. Trust the different eyes that you're bringing to the table, the different ways that you see things. And don't sit there and say, oh no, I'm wrong. You're entering into a new season. You're entering into a new power. You're gaining a greater understanding. Let that understanding guide you forward. Let that understanding be a part of you. This is a time where we are protected, where we are stronger than we imagined, where there's magic in our words. I'm not saying like there's incantations within our words unless you believe that, and then absolutely go for it. But there's magic in the assertion of our voice, in the strength of ourselves, in the sense of, I believe in me and I'm letting the light shine. The light shines for me within the day, and it shines for me within the night. As I let the sun guide me, I also let the stars guide me. Because remember, our ancestors were guided by stars and birds, which sounds like poetry, but is actually true. We are going to find that there's a different way of looking at the world around us. There's a different way of focusing on our success that doesn't make it so that we take away the joy in the becoming within our lives. This is a time where we don't make it all about money, but we also don't undersell ourselves. This moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's fear, the moon. The moon represents Pisces energy, but it's also saying here, be mindful of the fear that's going to try and pull you down and deny your voice. Be mindful of the shadows turned into monsters. See things truly. Understand things truly. And don't fall to fear mongers. There's a lot of fear going around in the world right now. Stay true. It might mean that you have to turn some things off. It might mean that you feel a little bit ignorant. That's fine. Stay true to the connection of the wisdom of your inner self. Open the door. Embrace your voice. And embrace your power. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is balance. This is the root chakra. At the root of us is the sense of balance. The balance of masculine and feminine energy, the day and the night, the wants and the needs. This is a sense of saying, I see what is out of balance within me. From meditation, from embracing peace, from connecting, and looking at how to fall into harmony with ourselves. What is it that makes us feel as if we're topsy-turvy? Makes us feel as if we can't stand in the true space of our power. Our subconscious rooted message is the sun again. Beautiful, shining light comes forward. Blessings, insight, ideas, standing out from the crowd. Let the light guide you. Do not let others take you by eyes, try to steal your light, because they are jealous and they don't know how to embrace what they love and want from their own lives. Let yourself shine, and do not apologize for it. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And this is the 3 of air, flying away from hurts and fears and doubts, naming them so they do not have power over us. The 3 of swords is looking at the pain that has kept us down, kept us quiet, and saying, no longer am I going to be shamed by you, held back by you, denied by you. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that is the 10 of coins. The 10 of cups, I do apologize. The 10 of cups. And they all live happily ever after. Prosperity, success, brilliance, bounty, joy and love coming forward, hopes and dreams being realized. This is a time where we look at what we love and we say, there's space for you, there's purpose for you, there's power for you here. I claim it. I claim my heart, I claim my emotions, I claim the power of myself and the beauty of my dreams. And I also know that here, when we have the 10 of cups, what makes one person happy is not what makes everybody happy. There isn't this universal happiness. It would be a lot easier if there was, but there isn't. And so when we look at our happiness and we say, this is right for me, this is what I'm being guided towards, this is what makes me shine so bright, like the sun, like the stars in the sky. It doesn't have to mean that everybody else understands it, that everybody else, embraces it. It can mean that this is me, and I'm embracing and embodying what I love and what I need, what I want, and my soul's desires. And that's enough. And you might say, well, what does that have to do with money and career? When we're in alignment, when we're in energy alignment with ourselves, when we feel balanced, well, that's a time where we can call forward more wealth. That's a time where we can see ourselves, moving forward within our careers, and people not knowing exactly why. That's the time where we shine. This is the time, Taurus, where we need to shine, because the sun is within us so brightly that we can do nothing else but shine. It moves us to our subconscious public message, and that's the star again. So we have the stars and the sun coming up twice. The light within the darkness that guides us. The irritant that becomes the richness. So when the lights go out, when night comes and you have to turn on all the lights in the house, it can be irritating. We can't see things as clearly as outside. We can't look out the window the same way. With the pearl in the oyster, the irritant becomes the blessing. So there's something about the night. There's something about the slowing down. There's something about the quiet that brings forward the blessing. But it starts off as an irritant, because a pearl is made by a piece of sand being caught in the oyster's mouth, and that oyster coating it with mucus and coating it with mucus until it's so protected that maybe it stops bothering it, or maybe the oyster gets found and the pearl gets taken away. This is a time of unexpected wealth coming forward as we shine and as we're guided towards something great. All right, Taurus, I hope this reading resonates with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the light that shines within us. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus.